My name is Comrade Adesope, the president of Oodua People's Congress Reformed Worldwide. Talking about the level of insecurity, if you're talking about security, that is our own area of specialization. It is what we have been doing, it is what we know how to do best. We know the nitty-gritty of security. I think the government needs to come into the grassroots for this, because I read it in the news where the government was telling the Qatar government that if anybody should demand bribe from them in the course of investing in the country, that they should report such person. And I just want to say that it is not about people collecting bribe from them alone. It's about security as well, because I doubt if there is anybody that want to go and invest in a country where the level of insecurity is as high as what we are facing in the country presently. Although the government is trying seriously about this, but they still need to do more about it. They need to encourage state policing. That's what everybody is clamoring for now, and it's at its peak now. It is very, in fact, it is long overdue. We need it, because by doing this, it is people from the grassroots of various localities that will be in this police force. So I think the government needs to encourage this, and they need to ensure that this thing starts in no time. And our various state governments should not bring nepotism into this. They need to ensure that they put a round peg in a round hole. And they should be equipped. Because the issue of starting community policing and treating them like what they are doing to the Amotekun now. You created Amotekun, you don't even equip them. You don't give them arms and ammunition. How would you expect Amotekun that will be carrying whatever, maybe double barrel or whatever, to go and face a Fulani that is carrying AK-47? There is no sense in that. Whatever you want to do, there is a saying which says anything that is worth doing at all is worth doing well. So if you want to do this, make sure you do it well. Make sure you do it in such a way that your intended goal in creating this will be achieved in no time. The people will start seeing the effect in less than 6 months or so. This is what they need to think about. Not that they will just create a state police now and they will not be giving them baton and whistle to go and face Fulani herdsmen, to go and face bandits, to go and face criminals, to go and face armed robbers that are carrying AK-47. It is not going to work. So let's think about this properly and consult people. Consult people at the grassroots who knows about the security of the land. Seek advice from them. That is my advice in this regard. It is a thing that concerns everybody. And what we are preaching in OPC reform is that we should not leave it to the government alone, neither should we leave it to the police as well alone, even all the security agencies alone. It has to be the work of everybody, and we keep telling people that if you see something, say something. Whenever you see any strange thing in your area, ensure you call the appropriate quarters immediately. Don't wait before it degenerates or escalated into another thing at all. Immediately you act on it. And that is why we say we are very closer to the people. Because before you see a police station, you can see like OPC zones like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 before you even see a police station. So if you report to any nearby OPC reformed zone in your area, we know what to do. We know how to get in touch with the police as soon as possible and do what we need to do. Police can testify to this, that we've been of tremendous help to them. We have been assisting them in the area of security, in curbing crimes in our various areas. So this needs to be looked into properly, and the government needs to act on it on time. In order to attract foreign investors, the level of insecurity needs to go down drastically. It needs to go down drastically. Yeah, youth empowerment is very, very key at this particular point in time, because our youth needs to be discouraged from indulging in crime. And like this saying that says that an idle land is a devil's workshop. So we need to do whatever we can in order to discourage our youth from going into crime. And in a situation whereby a student will graduate, and after graduation he couldn't get a job for so many years, instead of him to become independent, he will still be dependent on his parents. This is not good enough. So that's why the government needs to look into this direction. And it is not about the federal government alone. It has to go down as low as to the local governments. Whatever the local governments too can do in empowering our youths, they should be doing. Also, I want to advise parents that it is high time you need to be encouraging your children to become an entrepreneur. They should be learning the skills as well. While they are in school or after school or before they gain admission, they can learn. We have a lot of trade that they can learn. You can learn to become a beautician. You can learn to become a cobbler, hairdresser, stuff like that, caterer, a whole lot of them. And after learning this, the area where government will come in is to make funds available for them so that they can establish themselves. Because after going through this again, they finish their universities, they couldn't get a job, they learn a trade too, they learn a skill too, and there is no money for them to establish. So it's still back to zero level, which is not too good. So while parents can be encouraging their children in becoming an entrepreneur, so the government should try as much as possible that anybody who was accepted to go into this, funds will be available for them to establish their business. And by this, you will see that the level of crime in the country too is going to go down drastically. So the government needs to look into this area to encourage our youth to become an entrepreneur. So yeah, there is no doubt about the fact that there is serious hunger in the land, and that is why you see the level of crime, the kind of stealing, breaking and entry is on the increase. I watched just one clip, not quite long, of what happened at Zaria, that a driver parked his vehicle, he went to pray, and before he could finish, they started looting. Another one at Abuja FCT. So it's on the increase. And you know one thing about this thing is that some people that they are originally thieves are the ones starting these things. Then the hungry people, which are hungry as well, will just join them. So, and this is not right. This is not right. But we can't blame them. It is because of the level of the hunger in the land. That is why this is happening. And I keep saying this from time to time, that government needs to quickly look into this and act on it. It cannot continue like this. The issue of hunger should be the number one priority of our president, because that is the only thing where the poor masses are benefiting from them. So in this case, I want to advise the government to subsidize food for us so that it can be easier for us, available and affordable. Also, the issue of us saying that we don't want to import things, we cannot rely, we cannot be an island as at now. We are not producing enough to take care of our citizens. So, and in economics, there is this thing called principle of comparative cost. Whatever we are good at, we export it. Whatever we are not good in, we import it. There is no harm in doing that. At least before we level up, we can still be doing this so that the level of hunger in the land will reduce. There will be food will be available for people to buy at lower prices. Government should subsidize it and import what we don't have for now. While we are building in-house, let's start importing. Then at the time we get to that level where we have more than enough for ourselves and that we export well, then we'll stop the importation of foods. But as it is now, we are making things difficult. Some of them are not feeling it, but we the poor man, we are the one feeling these things because the money is not there and the food is not even there as well. And the one that is there is very, very expensive. We cannot even afford it. And there is this need going around that some part of the country said they want to stop moving their food to the other part of the country. They should not even try that. It simply means they want to break Nigeria. So they shouldn't even try that at all. And there is no part of the country that cannot be self-reliant in terms of agriculture. We have various things we are producing in various regions. So we can all be self-reliant in this aspect. So the issue of that threat of, say, some region wants to stop taking food to the other region should not even arise at this point in time at all. If you are saying we want the president to really focus on how to unite the country and you are still saying this, it means you are even breaking the country, and we don't need it for now. So Mr. President should just help us to look in. He should take this very seriously, very, very seriously. And you know, one thing is that we don't have to rely on the government alone before we can help ourselves. We see some people who prefer to go to church to pay tithe, they prefer to go to mosque to pay zakat, and you know, instead of helping the poor people around them. Helping the poor people around you even will bring more blessings to you than saying you want to go to church to pay your tithe or go to mosque to pay zakat. The church that you put the money into, that the church will even use the money at times to build schools, the school the church will build, the poor people in that church that are paying tithe, paying offering, cannot even afford to send their children to that school. So why are we deceiving ourselves? People are being brainwashed with these religious leaders. They need to be cautioned too, in order to start orientating their members properly, not to be brainwashing them. People need to look around. People suffering around you, you need to help them. Use your money to help these people, not just to be bringing the money to church for development of the church. Yeah, I will first and foremost thank the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for what he's doing presently in the country, and those people working with him as well who are loyal to the cause. I want to thank all of them. They're doing a wonderful job there. Like I said earlier, it is too early for us to be judging this government of 9 months to transform our country, Nigeria, with what has happened in the past and that is still happening. It is not going to be easy. That is why I said at least we need to give him like 2 years before we can begin to see the effect of a system of governance. You see, like the Orosanya report that he wants to implement, I will need to add to that, because based on my own view, I think what the government needs to add is to reduce the size of our National Assembly. As imagine the two houses together, they are both lawmakers, they are doing the same job. No doubt about the fact that in implementing the Orosanya report, there's going to be unemployment, and it is always like that everywhere. That is why they said when sinners are being punished, the righteous too will partake in the punishment. So those people that are going to lose their job in the course of implementing this, I want the government to make adequate provision for them in order to not to compound their problems, because definitely they be earning their living there, they have families, they have dependents here and there that they are taking care of, and by the time they lose their job, how will they continue with their life? Which means the level of poverty will continue to increase. But with adequate preparation by the government for these people, is going to make it easier. And another thing is that there is this particular direction that the government is not even saying anything about it, and they need to talk about it. If you're asking we, the poor masses, to sacrifice, to make sacrifice for the country, what are politicians, what are they doing? The executive, the legislatures, what are they doing in making their own sacrifice to this country? We've been saying in times without numbers, a lot of people have talked about this, that they need to cut down their salaries and allowances. What they are earning is too much. You find it difficult to pay the civil servants 30,000 naira, and you are earning such huge amount of money. And what are you using this amount of money for? We are not even saying it. It is just few of them that we are seeing what they are using the money for in their constituencies. So they need to make these sacrifices too in order to move the country forward. Also, some of our governors, they are earning double salaries, double allowances. They are earning their pension as an ex-governor of their states, and they are still in the legislatures, maybe in the National Assembly, or serving as a minister, collecting another salary again. And we are punishing the civil servants for not paying them their 30,000 naira. So I want the government, the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to link into this for us and to quickly act on it. This needs to stop. Somebody cannot be collecting double salary as an ex-governor, his pension is going on, and as a serving minister or as a senator, is collecting another salary there too. And we are complaining, and you are asking us, we the poor masses, to be making sacrifices. Where are the sacrifices that you want to make for the progress of this country? Mr. President, please help us to look into this as well. Thank you very much.